Hello, team. I just am giving you a visual update of what we're planning this coming weekend. Okay, I'm going to start with the newsletter. So I'll just walk through it just to orient myself. Okay, so first of all, thank you everybody for all the work that you've done. We've really accomplished something. I can tell you I got some advice from somebody much wiser than me about campaigns, and they said that the fact that we're at 25% is a massive reason why we're getting the support of groups like AFL. We're getting parties like the NDP and the Liberal Party looking to put their volunteers or recommend their volunteers support this campaign. So without you, this is none of what I've done is possible here. So I'll just keep walking through this. All right, so we're 1 month in, we're at 25%. We need all hands on deck still. So please recruit your friends and neighbors. If you know anybody who is interested in canvassing, remember many hands makes light work. We're at 80 canvassers, by the way, but 180 would make life even easier. All right, so this weekend, November 29th, Saturday, November 29th at noon, we are going to be meeting at the corner of Bow Glen Road and Bowness Center Road. Yeah, please go there for 11:45 if you're a canvasser. Make sure you're there for noon if you are a volunteer. We want to make sure that canvassers tell us what level of comfort you have with door knocking. Have you been out yet? Have you seen the script? I'll show you the script in a second. Yeah, just let us know, and then we'll pair you with volunteers who are really good at the doors if you're not comfortable, so that everybody feels like they are comfortable. The goal is to have 5 people together in a team with one map. Again, I'll show you what the maps look like, and using a tally sheet to keep track of the response. So basically it's either A, everybody in the house has responded, you check them off as complete, B, which is going to be primarily what you get, nobody's home, or people want to think about it, or not everybody was there to sign, mark it down as come back. And then thirdly, if they are an outright go away, don't talk to me again, then you want to mark them as do not return. So that's the task at the doors. And again, we will make sure that you're comfortable at the level that you are. So let us know exactly how you stand when you arrive. So the goal is to go out for a couple hours door knocking. If you get, a third of the way through your map in an hour, look at where you are and figure out how much you should do some lit dropping. So this is the literature that we have. Isn't it beautiful? Charlotte designed this for us. That's the front, that's the back. And so what people are going to do with this is they're going to get taken to our website, which I'm going to walk you through in a minute here. And on the back, they get taken to signing locations. So again, they can find out how to do those things. So that's what you're communicating with people. At the doors, you'll often get people say, oh, where can I do this? Or can I just do it online? And you say, no, but if you go here, you can find out places to join. So it's a common thing to hear. We've updated the website. Thank you to everybody who contributed to this. Dee and Charlotte and Tanya and others. So thank you so much for everybody who's contributed to that. And so I'll walk through that again. Okay, so that's the Saturday. We are also just reminding you that there's a group of people to talk to if you need canvassers ongoing. So this Saturday, when you're out there, connect with the volunteers that you enjoy hanging out with. Let them know your schedule and figure out sometimes that they can help you on an ongoing basis. It would be fun to see the progress of an area with the people that you meet, or bring a friend. Remember that. Please feel free to bring a friend with you if you'd feel more comfortable with that. It would be great. We'll do our best to try to make sure we balance teams around that. Okay. The following December 6th, we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to meet on Coach Hill Road by the soccer field on Coach Hill Drive. And again, same timing. So just before noon if you're a canvasser, just at noon if you are a volunteer. Let us know your skill level. We'll set you up accordingly. We'll send you off. You'll come back. I need to say, for canvassers, please bring your completed signature sheets. So those are the signature sheets where you have full 6 signatures on both sides. You've signed them, you've dated them, you've put your badge number on them. Bring those to us. Chris is going to be at the tables with us to receive them when you arrive. So please leave them there. It will not be the last time you see them. Don't worry about that. We have to do what's called an affidavit of record with you near the end of the campaign. So we're going to set up a week of this and make sure we make it space for everybody to be able to accomplish this. And it should be a one-time deal. You bring in your final sheets, we add them to the ones you provided us, and we put that in as a collection for each canvasser. So do that at the beginning when you arrive, and then when you return, please, if you complete a sheet while you're out there, sign it, date it, put your badge number on it, give it to us as well. So let's take everything we have at this point. We have to get a really good sense of how well we're doing in terms of, legible signatures and clear participants from the riding, so that we get a good sense of how we're doing when we say we're at a quarter of the way there. Is that true, or are we underestimating some errors along the way? Okay, and then so the following weekend, the December 13th, what's going to happen is we're going to do a rally. There's rallies being planned at least 14, if not, I think 24 different constituencies with recall campaigns, either ready or out, they're actually an active campaign versus the ones that are potentially applied for. We're going to hold events in each of our constituencies to show solidarity with each other, but in our constituency. So we want to make use of that. We figure this is a great way for you to receive your map back. So we're going to go with these tally sheets, as I said. When we give you a map that weekend, you go to a polling map area. You're now going to see, these are the houses that I don't need to go to again. These are the houses that I shouldn't go to again. And these are the houses that are still in play, and make sure you just keep hitting those doors. That's the task. It's not complicated. I will add that the week between Christmas and New Year's, it was mentioned to me that this is really important for us to get door knocking. So let's get comfortable with this. Let's make sure we set up people to go through December. One last bonus thing is I'm going to do up a holiday calendar, let's say like an Advent calendar, but not an Advent calendar, for us to just visually have where are we setting up for the month. And, just so that we have some standing locations out there each day, and that we're not overwhelmed. Everybody can sign up, just one or two people at each, one or two canvassers, I should say, at each site. And let's make sure that people spread the love for ourselves. It's a very clear plan for the month of December, including those 4 days between Christmas and New Year's, the 27th to the 30th. Those days are going to be big for us to find families all at home with their kids that are likely back from university. You could get 4 signatures at a door kind of thing. We'll make the most of that. And then in the new year, after we take a little break, we will regroup and we will target maps based on what we learned, as well as any other data that we can accumulate. So we've got a really good plan. We've got a great team. Honestly, this is the best group of volunteers I've ever worked with in my life. And this is just, I am beyond grateful for all of you. So thank you so much. Let's show you some data and then we can get on with our day. Okay, so this is a sample map of what you're going to receive. So we are going to mark it up. Me and Natasha are getting together to mark it up. But this is a really good example of a road where you would want to be doing both sides of the street at the same time. So for example, you'd come in here, well, I guess you'd do the outside there because there's no inside homes. But then when you get to this place, you're going to want to be going back and forth with your team. So you're going to want to have somebody in the middle who's marking down the addresses, keeping the tally of where you're going, and then the other 2 people either going to the door together or separating. And so 2 people on this side would be hopscotching, so you'd skip houses. Sometimes if the house doors face each other, it's good to skip every 2 houses and let somebody linger at a door and you're not interrupting them with their neighbor kind of thing. It's just be clever that 2 people would be on that side and then 2 people would be on this side, and you'd sweep this whole thing all at once, and then you'd exit and you'd go and do the same over here. So you'd come over, and please keep a car with you, stay warm, warm up, catch up every once in a while so that you're not in a place where anybody's getting too cold as we go. It's going to be colder. So please dress warm, use spikes on your shoes if you have them. Same thing here, both sides, and again, both sides. And it looks like, so there'd be, I think there's houses along here too. So you probably need to go, Yeah, both sides around here, and then those sides around there. And then you'd finish up here, I guess, is where you'd finish. You'd do the whole thing. So if, check your time. If you're an hour and a half in and you haven't done this loop, consider just doing lit dropping. So go ahead and just drop literature on these doors instead. Don't worry about knocking, just make sure the literature is visible for them and they can find it, and we can know how far you got just from your tally sheets. Okay, so that's that. Let me go through the script. So here's the script for you. So the one thing I like to do as somebody who's done enough door knocking is to start with, if I see a sign that says no soliciting, I always start with, I'm not here selling anything. And then I immediately go into, hi, my name is Jenny. I'm here with the Recall Nicolaides campaign. Have you heard of it? Okay, so just leave it really open for them. Find out whether they haven't heard about it. If they haven't, you can say, great, I'm glad I stopped by. I'm pleased to inform you that a fellow Calgaryville resident created a petition to recall our MLA, Dimitrios Nicolaides. If they're still listening, you can say, great, here are some of the reasons why your neighbors have signed. They want an MLA who listens and responds to their constituents, who fights for our quality public education and healthcare, who prioritizes the needs of his constituents, believes in the independence of post-secondary institutions, and respects your rights and freedoms. And the bonus is, if you recall, we have these lovely cards which have the same words written on them. So what's going to happen is when they use the QR code, they're going to get taken to a website, and I'll show you the web page right now. Great. So this is what they'll land on. They'll land on a website which has the same graphic as what you see on the cards. It'll say why recall Nicolaides. There'll be some info for them here, and all of those 5 things that were in your script that are on the literature are going to link to additional pages. So for example, I'll go to this one, which is an MLA who listens and responds to constituents. So we have a page for that, where we've listed 13 principles of effective representation, and we've offered some thoughts for you folks there. So if anybody in our team looks at any of these things and has any questions, concerns, or comments, we are more than happy to make changes based on your thoughts. So please take a look. There is time to make those changes. We're hoping to get this up in the next day or two. Here's one about the original image where we have some continuity from the old website design. This is about education. Thank you, Charlotte, for breaking down both public education and childcare issues from Dimitrios, etc. So you'll see all of those here. And finally, okay, let's go back to the lit. So you've seen the map. You've looked at the script. So again, if they're still not ready, you can just say, okay, this leaflet has some more information. You can find locations to book on the one side. And then if they say, you know what, I'm ready to sign, then you say, great. And you ask them, you just remember, have you been in the area for more than 3 months? Yes, excellent. And you're an eligible voter? Fantastic. And then I'd let them sign, because it's hard to, believe it or not, it's hard to write and listen at the same time. So let them fill it out completely. And then ask them when they're almost done, just say, are there any other voters in the House who would like to sign? And I would suggest that if they say, you know what, no, they're not really into this, I'm not really sure about this, then I would take a second and remind them that we need every second house to be engaged with this for this to be successful. And that unfortunately, your signature alone is not likely to get us over the edge, to get that 16,006 number hurdle that we have to meet. I have to say, I've had people be able to get their family based on that, or we say, okay, well, we'll come back and let them think about it, just so you know. And so they're prepared for that the next time somebody comes to the door. And the last thing I'll say is, if somebody says no right away and they say, they don't even want to hear you, then please just mark the house as do not return. So that's the simple logic there. Okay, so you have your map, you know where you're going. You'll think about which direction to do it in based on the arrows that we offer you when we do this work in the next day or two. And then you'll have these lovely tally sheets. So these tally sheets list the number of the house, the street name, and then it gives you those 3 options. Whether everybody in the house is signed, you can check it off. If not everybody is signed, or nobody was home, or they need to think about it, that's a return. And then do not return is do not return. There's nobody who's interested, no chance of any engagement. So don't bother. We can mark them off on the map later. Okay, so last thing is I'm just going to show you what it looks like to be at the door. Otherwise, I think this covers everything I wanted to cover. Again, please, feedback is welcome. Want to make sure everybody feels comfortable. Want to make sure you understand that this is a goal for each of us to have one single map that we need to look at. If you're not comfortable with doing your area, it's very possible that we can find you another area to do with somebody else. Do not worry about that. Just communicate it with us and we will figure it out for you that way. Thank you, everybody. Oh, and the last thing I'll say is if you were in an apartment building or a business regularly in the community, it would be helpful if you put a standing location on the website with just your cell number or an email for people to arrange a time to sign with you. Again, based on your comfort level, but I'll be specific. We have a canvasser in an apartment building, and so she's got that listed on our website right now. You can take a look at it in the Mulberry condos or apartment condos. So yeah, thank you, everybody. Again, you are a stellar team. This has been a lot of fun so far, and fun is the key to success. We will do this together. Thank you. Okay, so you arrive at a door, you go and you ring the doorbell, and you don't hear anything, so you gently knock on the door. Nobody answers, so now let's start with the door. Try and leave the literature in the door frame. If there's some problems there, then I would suggest going to the mailbox. In that case, please do fold it over the side. We'll give it a nice little squeeze and it will sit there. That way you can they will see it when they come in rather than just leaving it for them. As you can see, I don't check my mailbox that often. Thank you.